अग्निर्देवता शांतिरापः शांतिरौषधयः शान्तिर्वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्शिवदेवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वभौम शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः श्यामा शान्तिरेवी यतो यतः शमीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः सुखशान्तिर्भवतु। वाणी हिरण्यगर्भाभ्यां नमः। मात्र पितृ चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। इष्टदेवताभ्यो नमः। कुलदेवताभ्यो नमः। ग्रामदेवताभ्यो नमः। बलेभ्यो नमः। अविघ्नमस्तु। ओम सुमुखश्चैकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्ननाशो विनायक धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षो भारचक्षेताय महागणपते नमः। मनोज्योतिर्गतं नादिश्य बृहस्पतिर्जगमिमं तनोतोरिष्टं जगमं समिमं दधातु विश्वदेवास हिमालयन्ताम्। ओम प्रतिष्ठा आवाहितो भव स्थापितो भव यावत् कर्म समाप्ति स्यात् तावत् त्वं सुस्थिरो भव। गं 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 गणपते नमः। चार बार जल छोड़ दो। पादयोः वाद्यं समर्पयामि। हस्तयोः अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। मुखे आचमनीयं जलं समर्पयामि। सर्वाङ्गेषु स्नानं समर्पयामि। स्नानान्तरेण कुलज्जानिवारणार्थे रक्तसूत्रं वस्त्रं वासवासाङ्गरिवीत आकाश श्रियं भगवती जय समर्पयामि नमः। चन्दनगन्धं समर्पयामि। गन्धद्वारां दुराधर्षां पूजार्थं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। ओम गं 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 गणपते नमः। सिद्धिबुद्धिसिद्धाय नमः। आदोपरेश्वराय नमः। दुर्वाङ्कुरान् समर्पयामि। काण्डात् काण्डात् प्ररोहन्ति मरुगः परमेश्वरी एवान् गुरुवे प्रतनु सहस्रेण सतेन च अबीरगुलालं समर्पयामि। अबीरं च गुलालं च चौमाचन्द्रमेव च अबीरेण सुगन्धं समर्पयामि। अगुंशुरादे अगुंशोपिचितं मरुकारोहन्तु स्वममोदाय रसो अच्युतः सुगन्धितैलं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम धूपमागरापयामि। प्रत्यक्षदीपं दर्शयामि। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। नैवेद्याम् आचमनीयं जलं समर्पयामि। ओम इमं मे वरुणस्मृतिहोमद्याद्वृणयः तम् अवश्यवराचके वरुणाय नमः। आह बलिर्जाफल आपुष्पादाश्च विष्णुं बृहस्पति। ओम अश्वत्थेवो निषदनं पर्णेवो वासतिष्ठतं गोभाज इति सन्वतपूर्वकं महः। ओम तत्वायामि ब्रह्मणा ब्रह्ममार्ग सदा शास्त्रीयमानः ऋग्वेद यजुर्वेद सामवेद अथर्वण संवेद सहिता सर्वे कलशं तुषमासदा अत्र गाय अस्मिन् कलशे वर्णं सांगं सपरिवारं सशक्तिकम् आवाहितो भव स्थापितो भव सुप्रतिष्ठितो वर्गो भव यावत् कर्म समाप्ते वस्त्रं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम जवासवासां परिवीते आगात् स श्रियान् भगवती जायमा भगवती गौर्जानि मातृकेभ्यो नमः। ओम गौर्यै नमः। गौरीम् आवाहयामि। पद्मायै नमः। स्वाहायै नमः। स्वाहम् आवाहयामि। मात्रे नमः। मात्रीम् आवाहयामि। लोकमात्रे नमः। लोकमात्रीम् आवाहयामि। रिष्टे नमः। रिष्टिम् आवाहयामि। पुष्टे नमः। पुष्टिं देवयज्ञरक्षानुग्रहं सदा। ओम पूर्वे रक्षद्वाराः आग्नेयं गरुडध्वज दक्षिणे पद्मनाभस्मृतिं वायव्यां जनार्दन भक्तिरसिद्धि रक्षेत् ईशान्यां महेश्वर ऊर्ध्वं गोवर्धनो रक्षेत् पादस्तात्री विक्रम एवं 10 दिशो रक्षेत् वासुदेव जनार्दन अभक्रामन्तो भूतानि पिशाचा सर्वतो सर्वेषां हृदयेन रक्षाकर्म समारभे देवाः आयान्तु नन्दने स्थापन प्रतिष्ठा पूजनं च अहं करिष्ये। जय गणेश देवा अथ जपी पार्वती पिता महादेव अंधन को आँख दे कोडिन को काया, अंधन को आँख दे कोडिन को काया, बांधन को पुत्र दे निर्धन को माया। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देव, माता जगती पार्वती पिता महादेव। दीनन की लाज रखो शंभु सुतवारी, दीनन की लाज रखो शंभु सुतवारी। कामना को पूर्ण करो जाऊं बलिहारी, कामना को पूर्ण करो जाऊं बलिहारी। शूर श्याम शरण आयो सकल की सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जगती पार्वती पिता महादेवा। आत्मद्दिष्टं भारतं भगवान् गणपत्यादि सर्वदेव प्रियं पापं यपोहति, सर्वं पापं यपोहति। योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिब्रह्म शान्तिः, सर्वगुण शान्तिः, शान्तिरेव शान्तिः, शामा शान्तिरेव। आरती बोलो। नाना सुगंधि पुष्पाणि यथा कालोद्भवानि च पुष्पाणि परमेश्वर देवताभ्यो नमः। मंत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि आवाहि देवताभ्यो नमः। इदं फलं संस्थाप्य आवाहनं न जानामि तवार्चनं प्रसन्नता के लिए स्तुक्षयोस्तु निजपक्षमहोदयोस्तु वंशेषदेव भवतां हरिभक्तिरस्तु, वंशेषदेव भवतां हरिभक्तिरस्तु। आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजां। अच्छा अच्छा এখানে দেখো আরে কোন 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 কি আরে চলে কি আ তো দাঁড়া কোন কোন দাঁড়া তো দাঁড়া
हाँ नमस्कार। मयूर बता दिया ऐसा आपको पकड़ो सर अमित गोस्वामी नहीं उन लोग का जो है ये हमारा है
मैं भी बता रहा था कि अपने कॉलेज में पढ़ते थे उसी समय से मेरा सिम्प्लेक्स का रिलेशन थे। एक बार पाइलिंग हमारे क्लास में पाइलिंग पढ़ाया जाता था तो ले जा आपके वहाँ उस समय 2 तरह का पाइलिंग चलते परफॉर्म আমি এখন পুরো ব্যাটারি তৈরি করছি ন্যাশনাল লেতে আছি মানে তাড়াতাড়ি কি করে তেল থেকে মুক্ত করা যায় ইন্ডিয়ান পার্সন মানে ওকে আমরা ওয়ান হ্যাজ টু অ্যাডজাস্ট না অবশ্য তো অ্যাডজাস্ট করতে হয় এখন অ্যাডজাস্ট না করলে ও বোঝাবার চেষ্টা করে অনেস্ট হতে পুরো पूरा तो ठीक है त्रिपुरा बहुत शांत जगह ऐसे सरकार एक्चुअली बॉम्बे इंस्टीट्यूट इज फॉर साइंस एंड स्पिरिचुअल अच्छा only people ever do science the samples of Bhakti society is the Bangalore branch ওটা আলাদা that is ওটা ISKCON is different no ISKCON is different but they haven't the CC का चार्ज मेरा हम हो जाता है
Ladies and gentlemen, namaste and good morning. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The governors, Honorable Governor Sri Tathagat Rai is here on stage. It is my immense pleasure to be a moderator for this wonderful conference. I would request the dignitaries please come on the stage and take your seats. Dr. Amit Goswami, Shri K. Vasudev Rao, His Holiness Shri Subhak Swami Maharaj, Dr. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Professor Ajay Kumar Roy. Is there? Okay. So, I start here. My name is Siddharth Tiwari, and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of Bhaktivedanta Institute, Kolkata, bharatiyavidyamandir, Bharatiya Sanskriti Sansad, and the organizing committee. This is an august gathering where each one of you has earned their place. And it is with pride that we invite all of you. You are welcome to express your feelings, and we also extend heartily welcome to all the event. We highly appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to join us today. We hope we will learn and explore new dimensions of quantum physics and consciousness during the course of this conference. To begin this program, may I now request to the dignitaries for honoring Dr. T.D. Singh, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami, Founder Director, Bhaktivedanta Institute, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya, Bhaktivedanta Institute, Shri M.D. Mundraji, Founder Bharatiya Sanskriti Sansad. Thank you very much, all the respected dignitaries. Next, I would call upon the Ramanujaji and team for the invocation prayer.
ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम आलोल चंद्र कलसद्वन माल्यवंशी रत्नांगदं प्रणय केलिकलाविलासम् श्यामं त्रिभंगललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। एकोऽप्यसौ रचयितुं जगदण्डकोटिं यच्छक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचयायदन्त अंडान्तरस्थ परमाणुचयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि।
We'll just read out the meaning of the verses that we chanted. This is from the scripture called Brahma Samhita, which was chanted by Lord Brahma to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. He prayed to be empowered to create this material universe. The first verse goes, Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and He is the prime cause of all causes. The second verse. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified by the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shyamasundara is eternally manifest. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramanujaji and team, for this beautiful invocation prayer and also explaining the meaning of this prayer. We are all enlightened. Now Miss Joyita and Suchandra will be honoring the dignitaries with flower bouquet. So I would request first for our chief guest, Professor Tathagat Roy, the Honorable Governor of Tripura. Thank you. Now, I will request to please give the bouquet to Swami Samvit Somgiri, Mahant Shivmat Bikaner. Next, His Holiness Sri Subhak Swamiji Maharaj, Advisor, Bhaktivedanta Institute. Next, Shri Prahlad Rai Agrawal, Chairman, Rupa and Company Limited. No, Professor Ajay Kumar Ray, Director, Indian Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, Shibpur, formerly Bengal Engineering and Science University, Shibpur. Now, Dr. Amit Goswami, Emeritus Professor in the Theoretical Physics Department, University of Oregon. Now, C.K. Vasudev Rao, President, Bhaktivedanta Institute, Kolkata, and alumnus IIT Kanpur. Next, Dr. B.D. Munraj, Emeritus Chairman, Simplest Infrastructure Limited, Kolkata. Last but not least, Professor Sudipto Ghosh from IIT Kharagpur, Department of Materials and Metallurgical Engineering. Thank you so much. Science is a systematic knowledge derived from hypothesis. Spirituality can be thought of as the final distilled essence of all religious principles. Undoubtedly, science has made tremendous progress and helped humanities in many ways. However, the progress of spiritual understanding in relation to the deeper internal and external aspects of reality has not been so rapid of mark. With these words, I take this privilege to call Professor Sudipto Ghosh, Chairman of the conference and Professor from Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, IIT Kharagpur, to welcome the gathering and to introduce the conference visionaries and conference. Thank you. Professor Ghosh.
Namaskar. Good morning to all of you. Dear Professor Tathagat Ray and all the dignitaries on the dais, Bittaldas Mundraji, all students and colleagues who are present here. So I like to welcome to this unique conference on quantum physics and consciousness. And the visionary, I am going to little bit introduce you to the visionaries who are been behind this conference and these kind of activities. Dr. T.D. Singh and C. Madhavdas Mundraji. So I'll first introduce Dr. T.D. Singh. So Dr. T.D. Singh hails from Manipur and he is a personification of the Manipuri Vaishnava culture. And after doing his student life in India, he went for doing PhD with a very famous physical chemist, Professor Taft. And as a scientist, he was brilliant and made notable contribution in science. But he became attracted to the science of spirituality, and he met by the divine will of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And there were a wonderful interaction between them, and Dr. Singh became disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada felt that the scientists are the actual leaders of the society. And if the scientist can appreciate the sublime message of the Vedas, then there will be no problem in the whole world. The whole world can be peaceful. And so he gave this responsibility to Dr. T.D. Singh, Bhakti Sarup Damodar Swami, and for 40 years, Dr. Singh has been tirelessly working and interacting with several well-known scientists. He must have interviewed more than 35 Nobel laureates and many other scientists on this topic of different aspects of science and spirituality. Name whom: Charles Townes, and Roger Penrose. And it's a big list actually. And he has published more than 30 books in the field of science and spirituality. And so in a way, he is one of the world pillars of science and spirituality. Dr. Singh was also a great proponent of world peace, and he was a co-founder of an organization called United Religion Initiative, and did a lot of peace dialogues. And a very well-known person, every person in Manipur knows about him, and he has started many activities, popularizing the Manipuri Vaishnava culture all over the world, Ranganiketan, many nature cure hospitals, and he has started many schools, and the most prominent is Sri Krishna Mission School in Agartala in the northeast. So, has also started a university called University of Bhagavad Culture. Sri Madhav Das Mundra, he is a traditional spiritual person, and he is leading industrialist of India, and he is well known to everyone in the infrastructure sector. And as a human, his values were extremely high, and the way he started a tradition of all his, actually the staff, they are like his own child, this kind of, very wonderful, the family culture. So we hear so much things in the management, but these things, he has imbibed from our ancient values. And he has enormous contribution in the social work and education, culture, women's rights, rural development, medicine, and he was deeply rooted with the cause of spirituality, science, and religion. And he was a great visionary devoted to our Indian culture. He founded the Bharatiya Sanskriti Samsad, Kolkata, in the year 1955. Then Srimati Suraj Devi, Girdhar Das Mundra Rajakiya Satellite Hospital at Bikaner, Bharatiyavidyamandir Bikaner, Kalik Kamli Panchayat Kshetra Haridwar, Akhil Bharatiya Maheshwari Mahasabha, and many other organizations. He has authored 3 books: Raso Vaisa, Bharatiya Tattva Chintan, Ek Mein Anek, unity in diversity, Sukhi Jivan, bilingual in Hindi and English. So all of us, let us, pray so that their vision and their desire actually gets manifested at a very, this critical junction where the society needs their vision. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Ghosh. Now may I take the honor to call Dr. B.D. Mundra, Chairman, Emeritus Chairman, Simplex Infrastructure Limited, to please address the audience and introduce the conference. Thank you so much.
His Excellency Sri Tathagata Rai, Param Pujaniya Swami Somgiri Ji, Pujaniya Subhag Swami Ji, our friend and guest of honor, Prahlad Rai Ji Agrawal, respected great scientist, Dr. Amit Goswami, Professor Partha Ghosh, Professor Ajay Kumar Ray, Sudipta Ghosh, Sri K. Vasudev Rao, and in the audience, I see Dr. Bernard Hess and so many scholars who are sitting here. my young friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a profoundly interesting subject. I humbly want to share few thoughts which led us to organize this conference. I will take few minutes. Life as we see is like a movie. When we see a movie, we forget it is made of films and frames. We get lost in motion and emotion. Life also is a collection of frames moving like a film. Yes, life is nothing but layers of integrated fundamental events, LIFE. Layers of integrated fundamental events. We are here to experience the principles of such fundamental events. I am not here, but there is one interesting thing which I want to tell you. When we were coming in, a friend of mine just told me that you are getting quantum physics and consciousness, you are getting them married. First they were engaged, then they were entangled, and now you are, on one side there is quantum physics, and other side there is consciousness. Well, it's interesting observation. I am not authority on quantum physics. I am an ordinary man from construction. We construct buildings and structures. Our friends, Bhaktivedanta Institute, they construct better and high-rise society, and along with them, now our firm, bharatiyavidyamandir and Bharatiya Sanskriti Sansad, they have also joined hands. We build roads that lead to greater progressive path to evolution. We also work with architects of society and collective consciousness that evolves into higher intelligence. We are fans of champions like Swami Vivekananda and great organizations like Bhaktivedanta Society and Bharatiya Sanskriti Sansad, who are designing the framework of society, who are creating great foundation for thought, using our culture as a basis and making outstanding pillars for the future. Stories told by us, roads are built by us, but history has to be created by you. You are the one who are heroes. This event centered around you, around inner you, around everything that is around you. These are the thoughts which came to our mind. We welcome you with open arms to enter the domains of very small, seemingly invisible and negligible beings called particles. They are so small that they cannot even be noticed easily. These tiny particles are humble, simple, jumble, and jump between the worlds. You need a new clear thinking, a thinking to understand their nuclear thinking. Be prepared to be surprised, to be motivated, and to be part of this never new evolution of conscious change of the life and there by the planet Earth. I would advise you not to miss a moment or a point or a story that opens your mind to new, higher dimensions and to parallel worlds. Sir, this city of Calcutta welcomes you to the realm of quantum world. Bengal, which can be called consciousness capital of India, welcomes you. the land which gave place to Sri Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Arvind Ghosh, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans, Swami Yogananda, Vivekananda, Jagdish Chandra Bose, and Dr. Satyen Bose. Welcome again, and well, come again and again, so that we can build a great nation, a great society. A universe where we have oneness. This conference is like a music of flute, cosmic flute, if you listen with your inner self. It's a flute because the creation has origins in vibrations, waves, and all the space, emptiness, producing everything. I understand one thing from this. If anyone says you are nothing, that means you are everything. As eternally most omnipresent consciousness is you. The membranes, the superstrings, time warps, parallel worlds, and probable infinite possibilities all are waiting for you, created by you, created for you, just you. Thank you, sir. I hope you enjoy this conference and you come again and again to have many such conferences so that these two different, so that we can get consciousness and science merit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mundra. I think we should have a big round of applause for this humble talk. Now may I request Sri K. Vasudev Rao, President Bhaktivedanta Institute, Kolkata, to please address the assembly. Thank you.
ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समस्सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् Madbhaktim labhate param. Honorable Governor of Tripura, our Chief Guest, Sri Tathagat Roy, Pujya Swamiji Sambit Somgiri Ji, Pujya Swamiji, His Holiness Subhak Swami Maharaj, Shri Prahlad Rai Agrawal, Chairman Rupa and Company Limited, Professor Ajay Kumar Ray, Director, Indian Institute of Engineering Science and Technology, Dr. Amit Goswami, Dr. Mundraji, Dr. Sudipta Ghosh, Professor Bernard Hash, Professor Partha Ghosh, and many distinguished professors, scientists, students. Welcome to this unique conference. Quantum physics and consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says there are two classes of people. Lokosmin dividhanishta paraprokta. One class of people that are trying to understand the reality through empirical philosophical study by their own endeavor, trying to analyze material elements and have some picture about reality, what is there. And there are other class of people who are accepting the knowledge as revelation and then applying in their life and seeing whether it is working or not. So Dr. T.D. Singh calls these two classes of people as those who follow bottom-up approach and those who follow the second class as top-down approach. In the beginning, or at least the history we know, there used to be only top-down approach. And we have history where there was endeavor to shut up bottom-up people. We have conflict between science and religion in the early days, where any scientific discovery is conflicting with religious books have been shunned or made shut up by force. But of course, we all know the history. Now science, we all know that there is, irrespective of the book, we can see the knowledge in science. Now the science has become so prominent, and by fulfilling its promise that I can explain everything, you don't need any other book. So now what is happening is that science has become in a strong position and trying to shut up top-down category of people. This has been happening, but quantum physics has been a blessing to both science as well as religion. It gave us humility that reality is not within our grips. And it so became that we don't have access to the reality through uncertainty principle and all. You cannot observe beyond a certain precision. So, what is there beyond that? So, now within the scientific community there are two groups. One group says, shut up and calculate. Don't ask what is there behind. We have formula, that's it. We don't know what it is. Don't ask, don't imagine anything. There are other class of people, they want to know what is behind. After all, at the end of the day, we want to know what is ultimate reality, who we are, what is the purpose of our life. And we should know these things, that these questions related to our own life, they are not settled by science. They are still open. And the quest and search goes on. But, my dear friends, our life is very short. Our life is very short. In this journey, many, many generations have passed. While pursuing this search, our endeavor and prayers is that how to make our life successful so that our life is not wasted. So we hope and pray that the deliberations in these 2 days will help us that yes, top down and bottom up both are important for us. We cannot wait to the bottom up class to come up and give us explanations and for everything. We have to accept knowledge from top down and implement in our life. And in science we have seen in every field of knowledge, when you try to explain everything, put it on the paper about everything, we hit roadblocks. We hit paradoxes. In mathematics we have seen, they were trying to mathematize everything. Then Gödel came up and showed that mathematics is not sufficient to describe the reality. Similarly in physics, many of the fields of knowledge. So I pray that these 2 days will be great engaging and give us the right direction so that we make our life successful. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. Now I would request our guest of honor, Dr. Amit Goswami, Professor Emeritus in the Theoretical Physics Department of University of Oregon, to please address the assembly.
Namaskar. Friends, dignitaries, and friends again. I am delighted to welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. But let me introduce the subject to you a little bit. I have the unique privilege and advantage that because of the situation that I was in from the beginning, when I looked at quantum physics, and of course looked at it as a scientist, I also was very much interested into living, change the way I lived. I was a scientific materialist, and I lived that way, but I was not happy. And so this two-sided way of approaching science, two-sided way of approaching science has been very useful to me. And I would welcome you to consider this. The problem of consciousness, I don't know if you really have thought about it. Problem of consciousness is simply this. When we look at the world, we find there is a world of objects. And then we realize, but who is looking at it? Well, we are. And this is the problem. Objects and subjects are of different categories of logic. That's simple to understand. One is experiencing, the other as experienced. So how does this category difference arise? Who creates these two categories? Is consciousness making the world, or if the world is making consciousness? This recognition fundamentally was present in ancient India, and some very great people, we call them rishis, Vedic culture was mentioned already. These people intuited, creatively figured out, with great amount of ingenuity, creativity, spirituality, whatever you call it. They figured out the answer. You cannot solve certain problems staying at the same level as that gives the problem. This problem of subject-object, who creates what, cannot be solved staying at one level. But of course, if you propose another level, then you have to figure out how the two levels interact. And this is the debate, this is the problem, two level versus one level. So who is major became two level versus one level. And these people, through their experience, amazingly discovered something that nobody anticipated before. They discovered that there is only one. There is oneness in the level that is beyond space and time. And this oneness becomes many, that is where we live, but the many is appearance, transitory. And that is a little bit hard to believe, because we don't see the world that we experience as transitory, ephemeral. So debate continued. Some 3,000-4,000 later, in modern times, at the beginning of the 20th century, Sigmund Freud, a scientist, founder of psychology, some people call him, he again resorted to a two-level reality. And this time he did a very fantastic thing. This oneness, he did not figure it as oneness, but he said this other reality is our unconscious. There is the conscious awareness, where we are split, subject looking at object. But unbeknownst to him, he was proposing that there is an unconscious, another reality. So immediately question arises, is the unconscious the same as the other oneness that the mystics were talking about? And the plot thickened when Freud's student, Carl Jung, said that yes, this unconscious has a collective property. It has a universal property. He called it collective unconscious. And ever since, of course, we have a distinct notion that psychology should have its origin in the spiritual traditions. But things really got interesting. And this is what this conference will be about, I hope, when quantum physics entered the picture. Because in quantum physics, some initial misunderstandings were there. I hope the historians cover it. People initially thought that the duality in quantum physics, wave particle duality it's called, is just simply a duality that is arising and we can bypass it, but there is still one level of reality. But others saw that no, that's not what the mathematics is saying. The mathematics says uniquely, just without debate, no question about it, that no, there are two domains of reality. The waves live in one domain, the particles live in space and time, as we all know. Wave particle, two domains. But nobody dared to proclaim what the deep implications are. Now it is not my prerogative to introduce so much because others have to speak and the morning is getting late. But briefly, let me tell you this. This problem is called quantum measurement problem, how the waves become particles. And measurement problem because only when an observer measures it. When we solve it, we find that those seers of India were completely right. Completely right. I mean, this is the amazing thing. And quantum physics completely solves it. There is nothing to discuss here. It's really a solved problem. We discuss because there are very human problems. We have ego, we have competitiveness, so we discuss. Discussion will go on for some time. But if you look at it, my work is there and other people's work are there too, quantum physicists, then you find that the problems are solved. This basic problem of why we experience ourselves as subject looking at object is solved. But then here is the thing that I want to appeal to you. So if the spiritual seers are correct in what they are saying, if the world of reality is really that oneness and our separateness is really ephemeral and temporary and appearance, then how should we live? The founders of the Indian civilization, Krishna, Buddha, and all these people, they were not very interested in the metaphysical discussions of reality. Buddha, in fact, refused to answer those questions of metaphysics. His point is, can we live that way? What does the oneness mean to you? What does the oneness? You are sitting beside a person and you feel separate. If you knew that this person is one with you, how should you live? Please examine this question. I have a little bit, and I tell you, it's amazing. That part is even more amazing. How quantum physics tells you to live is exactly the same as the rishis in India, the Buddhists in India, the Christians in the West, the Muslims in the Middle East. All the spiritual teachers in all these traditions, the way they said that we should live is exactly correct. So, what is your prerogative? Your prerogative is, in this conference, to learn it, how this convergence is taking place, and then, if you understand what is going on, do not hesitate. Start living the new way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goswami. It was really a very nice lecture for all the students especially and people involved in the scientific field. Now may I request the dignitaries to allow me for a small change in the talk. which has been already assigned, because our honorable governor is having some other appointment. So I would request our honorable governor, Professor Tathagat Roy, please come on stage and address the audience. Thank you so much.
His Holiness Subhag Swami, Advisor, Bhaktivedanta Institute, Swami Samvit Somagiri, Mahant, Shiv Math, Bikaner, Dr. B.D. Mundra, Chairman Emeritus, Simplex Infrastructures Limited, Sri K. Vasudeva Rao, President, Bhaktivedanta Institute, Kolkata, Dr. Amit Goswami, Professor Emeritus of Theoretical Physics in the University of Oregon, Sri Prahlad Rai Agarwala, Chairman, Rupa and Company, Dr. Sudipto Ghosh, other dignitaries present on the dais and in the auditorium, ladies and gentlemen. When I received an invitation to this seminar, the inaugural session, I did so with trepidations. It came from Dr. B.D. Mundra, whom I had known for a long time and for whom I have enormous respect. So I was wondering, what could I be? A pickle shovel variety of civil engineer, know about either consciousness or about quantum physics. But since Dr. Mundra essentially is also a pick and shovel man, you'll excuse me, sir, if I say so, then I thought I might accept it, and I did so. Now, to think of my motivation behind this acceptance, apart from my closeness to Dr. Mundra, is that primarily I am interested in Hindu values and Hindu thinking and propagation of Hindu thoughts. And to this end, I accept invitations from all organizations which propagate this theory, these values, these meanings. And since the Bhaktivedanta Institute is certainly one such, I had no hesitation in accepting this. I accept and I belong to several other organizations, such organizations. I have received Diksha, Mantra Diksha from the Ramakrishna Mission. I am a frequent visitor to the Bharat Sevashram Sangh, and I have always been a great admirer of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami. So, what I believe in is that the work of these organizations are propagating Hindu values. Now, about my domain knowledge of the subjects that are going to be discussed here is very nearly zero, approaching zero, because my knowledge of quantum physics stretches to Planck's constant and Schrodinger's cat. In fact, I tried to look up Schrodinger's cat before I came here, and I couldn't make head or tail of it, head or tail of that cat. Whether the cat was there, the cat wasn't there, sometimes the cat is there and at the same time is not there. It's only for Schrodinger's to understand. It's beyond me. But I can at least believe that there is a person, there are persons in this hall who are capable of understanding these things and perhaps capable of explaining them also even without the tool of mathematics. Most people would understand these through mathematics, but that mathematics is beyond me. But I am sure there are people who would be able to do so. What I particularly would like to emphasize is that between quantum physics and consciousness, the only thing that is common, as far as I can see, is that there is some connection which I can comprehend only very vaguely. But I can comprehend it that there is some connection. In this world, everything is connected to everything. In fact, the unified field theory is still being worked on. But since people are knowledgeable, people are working on it, there must be a unified field somewhere. So with these things, it is perfectly possible that between quantum physics and consciousness, there is a connection. And it should be possible for a layman, for me, like me, to understand that connection. This is another aspect of this, is the ever-expanding nature of knowledge. Knowledge, as we understand, is never contained or confined to between two covers of a book. This is something which has got to be made to understand by a very large body of people in this world who believe that so-and-so or so-and-so said the last word. Nobody said the last word. As a matter of fact, the most sage advice in the world, I believe, was given by Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to Arjun, when Arjun felt that he shouldn't fight this battle because his adversaries were all his cousins, his great uncles and such. Then the advice Lord Krishna gave is possibly the most sage advice in the world. But after having given all this advice, in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, what does Sri Krishna say? Sri Krishna says, Iti te jnanam akhyatang guhyat guhyatarang maya vimrishyam etechasena yatechasi tatha kuru. That means that I have given you the most intricate, the most intimate knowledge that could be imparted by one person to another. Now it is for you to think it over and do what you please. Now, in advising a person to do what he pleases after having given all this advice, may sound contradictory, but it isn't. Lord Krishna is pointing out at the ever-expanding nature of knowledge. And I believe we will see the ever-expanding nature of knowledge in this meeting, where we will see the two apparently irreconcilable things like quantum physics and consciousness meeting. I am sure there are people who would be able to explain that to laymen. Unfortunately, I have to leave early, for which I have to seek everybody's pardon, but I expect to be enlightened by this, by written material that I shall receive from people whose acquaintance today I have made in the course of this thing. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Governor. And may I request to please release the souvenir of the conference. So may I request to please inaugurate the conference volume. Thank you very much, all the dignitaries. May I now request to Dr. Bedi Mundra to please present the mementos to our Honorable Governor as a token of remembrance and respect. Thank you very much. For the proceeding, may I now request Professor Ajay Kumar Ray, Director, Indian Institute of Science and Institute of Engineering and Science and Technology, Shibpur, to please give us remarks in this conference.
Namaskar, Suprabhat, very good morning to all of you. Distinguished people on the dais and off the dais, revered monks, and very eminently placed scientists, and some of the most erudite minds of India today who are sitting just in front of me and also on the dais, and my very dear young student friends. So I am indeed quite delighted to be invited here on this great occasion. As a matter of fact, I have come here to learn because possibly I do not have anything like many others who spoke before me to offer. I will, in my very small and narrow and insufficient knowledge on consciousness and quantum mechanics, I'd like to say that this is like, a Chaturdhara. Chaturdhara means that here there will be discussions on some of the most important advances on quantum mechanics. Obviously, the speakers will talk about the fundamentals because many of the people who are attending must be uninitiated to this great realm of quantum mechanics. So far as the consciousness is concerned, it reminds me of that Tagore's beautiful song, the poem, where he writes, Amari chetona ronge পান্না হলো সবুজ চুনি উঠল রাঙা হয়ে গোলাপকে বললুম সুন্দর সুন্দর হলো সে In the tinge of my consciousness panna became green and the rose became beautiful. Why rose became beautiful? Because my consciousness said that rose is beautiful. So in his very famous discussions with Albert Einstein, which took place at least 4 times as a matter of fact, and which has been very nicely described in several books, Tagore and Einstein, they differed on 2 very important aspects. While Einstein thought that existence is a objective thing, and existence, it existed, everything existed much before the human beings came up. Tagore said that existence is essentially a subjective thing based on our own old civilization, based on the thoughts of Indian, or more precisely, the Eastern philosophy. Here was a very interesting debate which continued. Many a times they started with music, because both of them were great musicians as well, Tagore and Einstein. then gradually it always ended up with philosophy. Music, physics, philosophy, and they never converged. And Tagore always used to think that I exist, you exist, this table exists because my consciousness says that it exists. If I do not have the consciousness, nothing exists. Einstein used to say that it exists irrespective of your consciousness. Whether I stay here or not, this table exists. Much before the humanity came into being, much before the consciousness of human beings were there, things existed. So where is that existence? Where is that consciousness? So this was a point. Tagore used to say that there might not be individual consciousness. Very brilliantly it has been talked about just now by one of the most revered physicists of our times. And you will listen more from him, sir. So Tagore said that it's a collective consciousness. It's not individually. Whether I exist or not doesn't matter. So there is something called a collective, consciousness. So consciousness, a lot has been talked about, a lot has been seen from the philosophical point of view, a lot has been talked from the scientific point of view. Now, so far as the scientific point of view is concerned, the most important question that came up was, since it involves human brain, then what is the structure of the human brain, which is essentially biological, neurocognitive, neuropsychological stuff? And then the more important thing is that whether the human brain, it works on the model of quantum computing. Here again, possibly, it was Roger Penrose, all of us, we know that in his famous works during the late 1980s and early 1990s, when he tried to propagate that human brain is essentially, it's a quantum computer. So quantum computing in the great history of quantum physics, quantum computing came in between. As a matter of fact, in a very famous lecture by Richard Feynman at MIT, he had talked about damn with your computers that you talk about, the Turing machine-based computers, which we, the electronics engineers, talk about it. So Richard Feynman said that nature is not analog, nature is not classical, nature goes by quantum means, quantum processes. So damn with your Turing machine based. In conventional computers, as many of you know, that we have got two states, 0 and 1. So in quantum computing, they say that there are quantum states. So like, general, in continuation of the general principles, there the qubits, instead of, they replace the concept of bits in conventional computing systems. So this is a great thing. Once again, there had been a lot of debates, lot of, conflicts between the classical computer scientists and those who propagated quantum computing. But in between came the concept that since the consciousness comes from the brain, then is the brain, and we are talking about quantum physics and quantum consciousness, where from consciousness will come? It's from the brain. So here comes a tridhara or a chaturdhara, biology, computer science, quantum physics, and consciousness. So many things together. Learning is a very important thing, which is coming gradually. And all these tridhara or chaturdharas, they are getting merged. And I am very happy that Dr. Mundra and the organizations out here, you have organized today's program where all these dharas, all these things not in isolation, but in totality will be discussed during the next 2-3 days of conference, and all of us will be illuminated by this. I'm sure that a lot more will come up. We will go back after the end of the conference with lots of knowledge about how the human brain can act as a quantum computer, and not that alone, how the consciousness can be embedded on such a human on a human quantum computer. So consciousness is such an important and vast area where I think the eminent spiritual leaders, they have to contribute. And the most important thing is that should it merge together or again it will diverge. In the past, it has never merged together. When Roger Penrose talked about a very simple thing, that the human brain can be conceived as a quantum computer, everybody started saying it's not possible. Why not possible? Because of the fact that those quantum bits, they remain for a very small, maybe that for a nanosecond, to have in those kind of quantum states for a longer duration is difficult. They talked about quantum entanglement, and now those quantum entanglements, they are quite fragile. Even if a photon really disturbs it, then they say that the entanglement will break. So having it for a longer duration will be a big problem. So how to solve that problem? Lots of work is being done, but then the mainstream of physicists, as I understand, they are still not in the game. When the mainstream of many physicists will start taking interest in it, and 21st century is the century in which possibly much more work will be done in the decades to come in these areas. So I am once again thankful to the organizers, and I wish each one of you very best. And the only thing, the hope is when we will go back, there will be a residue, and that residue will be very, very different from the residues which we get from other conferences. We will go back with a fresher and much better insight into who we are and what is consciousness. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ray. Now I would like to call our guest of honor, Shri Prahlad Rai Agrawal ji, Chairman, Rupa and Company Limited, to address the audience. Thank you.
Namaskar. Respected invitees, speakers and delegates, it is a matter of great pleasure to be present here. Let me congratulate Bhaktivedanta Institute, bharatiyavidyamandir and Bharatiya Sanskriti Sansad for their relentless effort and constant endeavor to restore the eroding values in the society in general and academia in particular. The topic of the conference, Quantum Physics and Consciousness, is very appropriate in today's world. All of us are aware of the fact that the current generation of youth and students are passionate about the discoveries of science and technological development. While it is true that the scientific discoveries and technological developments are providing all the material comforts, it is also very true that it is the misleading of the younger generation to a totally materialistic philosophy of life without a holistic growth. The society suffers from a great problem of alienation, Atma-viyog, and it is high time to stage on combination of Western science and spirituality as advocated by Swami Vivekananda, for giving a new dimension to the society. The basis of quantum physics is the theories by Einstein and Max Planck, where quanta means a packet of energy giving a universal basis of our world. The tiny quantum is all powerful. Began to dominate all science, not to speak of physics. This is not my subject, but I learned from the experts that this is very similar to the Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram concept of our ancient scriptures, mainly Upanishads. I am sure it is the responsibility of the scientists, philosophers, religionists, and corporates to come together and create an awareness among them that will help them to understand the importance of science, spirituality, and their interface. The conference is one of such kind which will discuss such issues in a subtle way. I sincerely feel that more of such conferences should be organized to ensure and hand over a better world for the future generation. I appreciate the simplest group for exhibiting their true corporate social responsibility by promoting such an event, and I wish the conference a great success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Till now, we have listened the lectures of great entrepreneurs here, eminent professors here. Now the time is for the great saints are here. And in this series, I would humbly request to His Holiness Subhag Swamiji Maharaj from Bhaktivedanta Institute, please come and enlighten us from your thought-provoking talks.
Okay. 5 minutes. Namaskar. Good morning. To our governor is gone, so distinguished guests, sannyasis, scientists, of course, the students also here. Here the subject is today quantum physics and consciousness. I don't have that much knowledge about quantum physics. But we know from Veda and Upanishad there is detailed discussion about this consciousness. We find in Veda, Upanishad is very nice thing there. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, asato ma sadgamaya, mritor ma amritorgamaya. That means this material are full of darkness. That means ignorance. People are covered with the three modes of material nature. So they are in ignorance, but still they are trying to find out whatever is, the truth or reality. And we know in this age, people value, honor what the scientists say, but the philosophers, seekers of truth, scientists, everybody want a world where people live peacefully and happily. And the guidance some people take of the rishi, especially in India, and at this age, it is saying, our goal should be Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. Let's see every living entity become happy. The process we are following is just like in Upanishad, say, like a frog in a well. He may be living in a well, say 6 feet diameter. And another frog coming from the ocean, say Pacific, the vast reservoir of water. They are talking. Asking where you come from. Well, I am coming from a big reservoir of water. How big? Actually, it's going on 100 times, 1,000 times. Others, put him down. He said, no, not like that, not like that. So our case is to some extent, you see in the eye of Upanishad, or Veda is like that. We have limitation. Everybody understand. We have limitation. But Krishna says about the truth is, this is unlimited. Supreme Being is unlimited. And knowledge about Him, or the consciousness, Supreme Consciousness personified. As we see, Brahma is saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That is talking about this. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Everybody wants a world, wants to live eternally, full of knowledge and bliss. That is Krishna. According to Brahma, the first living entity, according to Veda, or Brahma Samhita. There we find about knowledge and essence of it given by a higher authority, or you say highest authority, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He said about Rajavidya Rajagujam. This is most confidential. Vedic knowledge accepted by all authority as the oldest book of knowledge, and their essence given in Vedanta, and then Vedanta Sutras, purport is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. There also the Lord said, this is Paramagujam and Rahasyam. This is most confidential. So it can only be realized through devotional activity, or called Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means that which connects us with the Supreme Being, who is have all the knowledge and all Supreme Consciousness personified. And the best way, he's saying, Bhakta Mam Abhijanati. Only by rendering devotional service, we can understand him. And another place in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that, Yoginam upi sarvesham madgatena antaratmana saddhavan bhajate jo mam same juktutamo mata. One who is rendering devotional service, he is most intimately associated with the Supreme Being. So this way, we can understand him, and by understanding him, Anandamaya Bhasat, our life become joyful, our life become peaceful. Bhaktaram, Jagatavasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Srihidam Sarvabhutanam, Gyattamam Santim Richa. This is the way to peace. This goal of all this is peace and happiness. Everybody knows. And the scientists, professors, authors, top philanthropists trying to do this thing. But we are conditioned soul, we are in ignorance. We can take this knowledge from Supreme Authority. That is Gita. And we are essence of Vedic knowledge given by a top authority, Krishna. And this is King of all knowledge. So it's very simple in this age for the people, those are so much working hard simply for bread and butter, eating, sleeping, mating, depending. They know nothing more than this. And how to enhance their sense gratification. That is what is modern day everybody is doing. This is life. This is animal propensity. Human being has got higher intelligence, who can ask for what is the cause. Why I don't want to die, I am dying. I don't want to suffer. diseases, I have to, it is all forced on me. Who is forcing? There must be somebody, some being. And then we surrender. Then we become humble. Then we come to surrender. That is why Krishna says that you surrender. In Bible says, you surrender. Christ says, everybody says. In Islam it says, surrender. Then you will know. But you are unfortunately little arrogant, proud of our knowledge. So it says that again. Asatomam sadgamaya mitarmam amritagama. We cannot stop. Scientists cannot say, I won't die. Anybody can say, I won't die. I won't be diseased, attacked by. You cannot say that. I won't become old. You are forced. You are controlled. Better surrender to the controller. Make it easy, then he can give knowledge. So how much he tries, 6 feet diameter, this frog in the well, he cannot know unlimited. But if he surrenders, then being Supreme Being being pleased, he can reveal the truth. That is said to first living entity, Brahma. So we follow. Brahma is the first living entity. But it is very nice, people value the scientists, take their guidance, but still they are not happy. We can see now, even in the present day, there is chaotic condition in this world. They want to make one world, one family, one leader, one family. But there is so much diversity. But we can bring unity in diversity by accepting supreme authority, whatever you call, Allah, Christ, Krishna, by surrendering to Him, maybe in different name. We surrender to Him. That is Krishna's final instruction. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam bhaja aham tang sarva papabha moksha ma sucha. Everybody in anxiety. Nobody can deny that he is in anxiety. From Obama to Trump, everybody is in anxiety. But in Vaikuntha there is no anxiety. Vigata Kunta. And Vaikuntha-pati is Krishna. So he surrendered to him. And he said, Manmanava, always think of me. Become my devotee. In other words, chant his name as a helpless child, cry out for father and mother. Who is real father and mother? Krishna is real father and mother. So we should chant. I will request you, please chant with me, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So we thank those who are organizing this, bharatiyavidyamandir, Sanskrit, Bharatiya Sanskriti Sangsad, and Bhaktivedanta Institute. It is from the mind of great scientist, great saint, this Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami, Thaudam Damodar Singh, is coming from the country of jewels, Manipur. They are as old as 5,000 years old Vaishnava family, coming the royal family. He is coming from there, and he is a jewel of that state, Manipur, Damodar Singh. And he was fortunate to associate, when he was doing his research work as a scientist in Yale University, California University, and he met His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our spiritual master. And he is changing the life of so many people. They are peaceful and joyful, irrespective of country, faith, caste, creed, throughout the world. So we request you, please follow him and make your life sublime, joyful and peaceful. Thank you very much.
Dhanyavad Swamiji. Now, you have changed the environment very spiritual today in this auditorium. Now, in continuation this spiritual environment, I would next request, rather humbly request Swami Sri Samve Somgiri Mahant from Siumat, Bikaner. Please come and address the audience. Thank you.
ॐ भद्रन्नो अपि वातयमनः ॐ शान्तिः 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 निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। नमो विराट स्वरूपिण्यै नमः सूत्रात्ममूर्तये नमो व्याकृतरूपिण्यै नमः श्री ब्रह्ममूर्तये नमः श्री ब्रह्ममूर्तये। Om Tat Sat Parabrahmane Namaha. On this very important occasion, very pious, most valuable, my prostration to Mother Kali, Bhagavati Ganga, and the culture of this Bengal, Amar Sonar Bangladesh. I invoke Kapila Maharshi, Kanad Maharshi, Jagadish Chandra Bose, Einstein, Newton, Rabindranath Tagore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahans. I request them to shower the blessings on the eminent scientists who have come over here, the genius who have come over here. I pray that all the participants, particularly those who will deliver their knowledge over here, they transcend their body, their senses, their mind, they enter the zone of intuition. They become one with the cosmic intelligence, cosmic mind. I invoke the material cause and the efficient cause of this universe, which is Ananda Tattva, which is Mahamon. Let then Mahamon vibrate in the hearts of the audience and the speakers. It was told here that the mood of the audience have changed. I will again change the mood of the audience. Project the sheeness on the cosmic screen. Observe the sheeness with controlled and cultured mind. In every form of life, in a fish, in a bird, in a snake, in a rat, in a cat, in human beings, observe when it is infant, when it is grows, when it is meeting, when it is mating, when it is issuing forth, and when it is suckling the child. Project it on the cosmic screen. Go beyond the Big Bang, go beyond the time, and you will be face to face with the primordial triangle of creation. Here, Bhaktivedanta Acharya told you about Bhagavad Gita. My young friends, please listen to me. There is a mention of Big Bang in Bhagavad Gita. There is a mention of unified force field in Bhagavad Gita. Everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. Entire Apara Vidya in nutshell form is there. But main is the Brahma Vidya, which is Sarva Vidya Pratishtha. If you will listen as a disciple, as a student from these eminent speakers with Shraddha, Bhagavad Gita says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparah sanyatendriya jnanam labdha param shantim achirenadi gacchati. You will be enlightened. आपका यौवन धधकने लगेगा. आदरणीय विट्ठल जी ने बांसुरी बजाई. केवल बांसुरी से काम नहीं चलेगा. The conch should be blown, the Panchajanya conch should be blown here, and you will see that your Jauvan, your youth starts igniting. It is dancing. You will dance with the black hole. You will dance with the quarks. You will dance with the leptons. The view will be changed. It's not that this aparavidya and paravidya, science and spirituality. Spirituality, correct spirituality is as the substratum. Brahma Vidya, Sarva Vidya Pratishtha. Whether you realize it or not, no experiencer, experience, means of experience, observer, means of observation, observed, micro and macro, all are there in the lap of the Brahma Vidya. I invoke the blessings of the Brahma Vidya in this precious conference. I pray that when you return, you are not the same persons. You will be enlightened, or rather you will walk on the path of the Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya. We will win over the death in this very life. And this is the declaration, clarion call of our Shrutis, our Vedas, Vivekananda, and all the seers and mystics of all the world. I pray for the great success of this conference. My prostrations to all the dignitaries over here, the residing God in the bosom, in their heart, again prostration, and we'll tomorrow. Actually, Bittalji, I told Bittalji that I am not very fluent in English. I can understand. I would like to speak in Hindi. He told, Nene, you try. Gracious, he told that I told that I will do some meow meow. Schrodinger's cat. Let me search that cat, but I will do some meow meow over here. Tomorrow we will meet, and I'll try to show what is there in Bhagavad Gita, quoting the verses and giving you the meaning. And it depends now the scientists to relate those words and the postulations in Bhagavad Gita with their researches. The quantum physics, and for that matter, any science of the objective world will get the guidance from the Brahma Vidya, from the Bhagavad Gita. My best wishes to you all. Om.
Dhanyavad Swamiji. And it was very energetic talk, and I think we should have a big round of applause for this roaring sound and this beautiful lecture. Now, moving ahead, I would like to request to see Vasudev Raoji to please present the mementos to our respected dignitaries on the dais. Thank you, Swamiji. May I now request to Sri Milinder Sengar ji to please give a mementos to our Swami Sri K. Vasudev Rao ji. Thank you so much. Now we are towards ending this session. So now may I request to Sri Varun Agrawal ji, Director Bhaktivedanta Institute Kolkata, to please give the words of for the vote of thanks.
So we are immensely thankful to all the distinguished dignitaries here. Your presence made truly this event, this inauguration session, very successful. We have eminent scholars, saints coming from all way from different parts of the world, and you cannot imagine the kind of pain they take. Somebody has a health problem, somebody has a lot of issues, but in spite of that, everybody sacrificed his time, his energy, his health to somehow come here just to help all of us. Now, let us give them a big round of applause. And you will see as the 2 days unfolds, you will see there are so many good scholars sitting this side of the stage also. They will share wisdom. Dr. Bernard and his wife, they have come. Dr. Bernard, he cannot even travel. He uses wheelchair and he has come from America. And we have beautiful scholars, Dr. Goswami, Dr. Professor Barua from IIT Delhi. He has health issues, but just to share his wisdom, he has come. You will listen to him today late afternoon. So we are very thankful to all of you here on the dais, off the dais, to be together with us for this noble cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Now I would like to close this session here, and see the title of this conference is based on quantum physics and consciousness. We have lots of questions. Today we had some hint what is consciousness and what is quantum physics. But our next session will tell you what is quantum physics. So in that session we will able to correlate something about the quantum physics. So please be on time after 15 minutes in this conference hall, because we have some refreshment outside the conference hall. So and we should take those refreshment and come back on time just after the 15 minutes. It is 12:05 here. So maybe 12:15 will be better if we are here. Thank you so much.